hopefuls at loggerheads in different parties over candidacy and alleged double standards as Edo and Indo governorship elections draw closer. National Caretaker Committee elects new national chairman for Accord Party, but are there some dissenting voices? In the Labour Party, the National Treasurer says the party leadership must do the part of honor by simply letting her do her job. Well, this and more on the program today. I'm Fisayo Mufui. Welcome. 12 aspirants on the platform of the governing All Progressives Congress running for the September 21 gubernatorials have been presented screening certificates ahead of the party primary slated for February 2024.
12 aspirants now battling for one ticket to face 15 other party candidates come September 21, 2024. The National Organizing Secretary of the party congratulated the aspirants and urged them to abide by the party's constitution.
In fulfillment of the provision of the party guideline that screening committee and indeed acting committee will be constituted by the party and be inaugurated, we will thoroughly screen all the aspirants, thereby giving them certificate of being screened for the purpose of contesting the primary election. Only the National Delegation Working Committee that have the power to conduct a screening exercise and completed that exercise. The next will then be the Delegates Congress, which will be conducted on Monday. The job will be voted through the screening committee for doing a good job. We are very happy.
APC says it will continue to galvanize support of the people in the warrior start of rescuing Edo economy from further depression.
Well, PDP governors say they have resolved to give support to their Edo State counterpart, Governor Godwin Obaseki, in efforts to retain the state for the party. While nine aggrieved aspirants of the party for the February 22-2024 governorship primary in Edo State have threatened to sue the party if their grievances are not addressed.
The nine aggrieved governorship aspirants had petitioned the appeal panel set up by the party over the composition of the party's officials appointed to conduct the World Delegates Congress in the state. Note that the boycotted the local government congress held on February 10 across 192 wards and 17 local government areas of the state because they believed that it was the products from the World Congress that were used to conduct the Congress, thereby approached the appeal panel set up by the national leadership of the party to right the alleged wrong perpetrated by Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah-led Congress Electoral Committee.
We abide by all rules as far as it's transparent.
No rancor, there is no division, and we are very much behind the national working committee and the state chapter of the party, and indeed the government to make sure that we go together to unity to produce a successful for our most respected, the eldest governor in the governor's world.
Secretary to the governor, Peter Mbah-led World Congress Electoral Committee, Pascal Ajigwe, appealed for calm, stating that PDP is a law-abiding party.
And I know that there's nothing wrong that we do. There's nothing wrong for sure that we do. There's nothing that is far from what it should be that we do. So much as I'm not in the position to speak for the party or for the community.
He urged politicians to always draw the line between doing things properly and doing things rightly, as only one person can win elections at a time.
Watch that space, especially in the next few weeks, because we'll be looking at what happens, especially from the PDP direction as well as some other parties getting ready for the gubernatorials in Edo State. Now, Chairman Partners for Electoral Reforms, Chief Izewanwan, who joins us now in the studio. Thank you for joining us. While Public Affairs Analyst Judy Ojo joins us via Zoom. Gentlemen, if you we have been watching what has happened in the course of the past 2 weeks. So we know that it's the time of Edo State now. We're getting ready to see the entrance into the race to the GRA residence of the governor in Edo State to know who the next tenant will be. But before we get to know that, it seems as if not all is well, especially if you saw the clip there from the PDP. Let me first start with Ezenwa. You have always said that the parties hold the key to the success of our democracy. That if we have internal party democracy, we will get it right instead of all this cycle of elections, litigations, and all this we get to have after every election cycle. Ezenwa, for your first intervention.
Well, Fisayo, thank you for having me. I think the point has been made for me very clearly over a period of time that one of the challenges that I've seen being an election enthusiast is that we always have not taken the necessary kind of action that we take in oversighting perhaps other stakeholders in the electoral pyramid the way we should. And the politicians, their political parties and the candidates or aspirants are the beneficiaries of all the effort that is thrown into the electoral process. And so I always have believed that we should hold their legs on the fire. And the reason for that is that if you followed even the 2023 elections and all the judicial interventions that have come, you will see that if you permit the use of the shenanigan of the political parties, are some of the things that were being contested in most of the tribunals and even the courts up to the Supreme Court. Most of what we saw there had nothing to do with the conduct of the election itself. It had more to do with the behavior or misbehavior of the political parties. So I've always advocated that we pay attention right now in the way and manner the political parties behave. The process has been open to them to simply conduct primaries. Their inability to organize free, fair, credible, inclusive, acceptable primaries is a huge challenge, and we should be able to, as stakeholders, media, civil society, pay attention. What are we calling for? That they follow the rules that they have made for themselves, and that the structures of their party, the constitution of their party, should be followed to the letter in a way that guarantees level playing ground for everybody who wants to aspire. And because the party cards, the governor or whoever does not have more than one party card, his membership of the party is to the extent that he now occupies public office. But when it comes to the affairs of the party, the governor should take a back seat and not appropriate the whole structures of the party the way we have seen them do both in the past. And it all came down from what we saw when those who held political power took over, ambushed, if you like, the party democracy, and then began to give themselves titles of leader of the party. And from then onwards, they decided to ensure that they criminalize contest. They take away contest. They don't want contest. They give. They want to say they gave him the ticket. And you cannot give tickets. You should be able to allow for contest where people can aspire and say they want to be through a level playing ground, and that is what I want to see in the Edo State. All the parties, yes.
Jidejo is there. Jidejo, you've listened to Ezenwa's first intervention on the show. Jidejo, what are your thoughts on some of the issues that we've raised so far?
Like Chief said in the studio, if you research, the greatest challenge that Nigeria's democracy faces today is lack of internal party democracy. And you find out that arising from 2023 party primary, over 1,000 litigations across 18 political parties were recorded. It's very convenient for political leaders to condemn INEC and call INEC chairman names. Do they fare any better in the in the primaries that they conducted. Even the one of off-cycle governorship election that took place last year, I recall that APC, some of the aspirants went up to Supreme Court to challenge the outcome of that party primary. So situations where you jettison due process, rule of law, and follow rule of the tongue, and have an anointed candidate does not augur well for political development of Nigeria. Imagine someone will pay 50 million as aspirant. I think the list is 30 million by Labour Party. Now you pay these huge sums of money and somebody screens you out under one excuse or the other. Why should the payment of nomination and expression of interest not be after the screening, so that you don't collect my money, and if you decide that I should not contest, that's fair enough. But you allow people to buy from, and then you set up a screening committee. Even ahead of this election, you could see that there is already Buhari in Edo PDP, in Edo APC, because of the rule of the tongue. Some elders sat and said, oh, these people, why should that be in a democracy? If there are 200 people who wants to contest, why shouldn't you allow them to go to the ballot? And if it costs 1 or it costs 10, it's his own law. But situations where party leaders are only interested in millions of money, millions of naira they intend to rotate during party primaries, and then orchestrate a highly state-managed electoral process that will favor only the anointed candidate of the governor or anointed candidate of the political godfather that is operating within that political space. That does not augur well for political evolution.
Thank you,
or what we look forward to as our political development.
All right, let me bring in Ms. Nwowangu back very quickly. We've made a statement of the problem. How do we go forward very quickly? How do we solve these issues? How do we provide lasting solutions so that we don't get what Nigerians will call K-leg at the beginning of the race?
Well, all we need to do is to reverse what Dr. Jide Udo said. The reverse side of it is the recommendation. So what does that mean? What it means is that we should be able to see a transparent nominal role of the political parties. We should be able to say these are the members of PDP in Edo State. As we speak now, you may not be able to have that nominal role. We need to be able to know those who are going to be. INEC sends a voter register to political parties before elections. Alright? Why is it difficult for me and you, Fishayo, and other interested people to see who is voting in the primaries of the APC? Who are those? Whether it's direct or indirect, who are those that are qualified? Can we publish their names? Just the same way INEC does, segregate them in by sex, male, female, residence, social and so place, so that at the end of the day, we are not just going to, and then that is where the Department of Political Party Primaries in INEC monitoring has to also up its game. I know the challenges that they face, but the truth is that they are the ones who should make a demand of these things, from the political parties, so that we also can we can put our finger on it. So people say, oh, it's the internal affairs of the political parties. When we do this, we are meddling some interlopers. That is not true. We should be interested in what happens in the process that eventually, because they are the veritable leadership recruitment process that we have. The political parties are the only way leaders imagine our country. So we cannot stay aloof and say we are not interested. They should let us know who will be voting in PDP, where they will be voting, and how the process will be. That transparency is important. So the opacity that has shrouded the whole affairs of the political parties need to be unpacked. That's number one. Okay. Jide, very quickly.
And as a rider to what Chief has said, we all know what the rules of the game and rules of engagement is. That due process is what is needed. There is no two way about it. If you set a guideline for yourself, you publish the guideline, then follow it through. Let whoever, don't skip people out of the process in order to arrive at a predetermined outcome. That is what usually eat up the polity. That's what usually led to the defections after party primaries. And like I said, maybe political parties should be mandated not to collect expression of interest and nomination forms until the screening of aspirants. So if I'm screened and you have ascertained that I'm not qualified to contest, then don't collect my money. I cannot spend 30 million, 50 million purchasing nomination and expression of interest form, and then you screen somebody out and say he's not qualified. On what basis? And then you cannot put extra constitutional barrier on the part of any aspirant in order to achieve a predetermined mission. You know, in Edo, Philip Shawapu, the PDP aspirant, who is also the deputy governor, has said that his governor is doing everything to prevent his emergence in these ways. And that is something that should be looked into. Everybody should be able to aspire. That's why politics is a game of interest. But situations where you kill the interest of one person in order to aspire or enhance or boost the chance of another is what is condemnable. So my own submission is, let due process be followed, let there be transparency and accountability, let civil society be invited, media should be invited to the party primaries. Let us know the delegates, who are the delegates that are qualified to vote, not few hours to the D-Day or the few hours to the commencement of the post, then you now smuggle in list of people who are not also there. So these are things that transparency and accountability will allow. Let every of the aspirants know who are the delegates, how many are they, where are they going to be coming from. And if you want to use the entire list, maybe you want to do direct primaries, you then have to publish the list of your members. That's why section 177 sub C of the Electoral Act has made it mandatory that 1 month to the conduct of party primaries, the list of members should be submitted to INEC. So it's not for the fun of it. These are due processes that needed to be followed in order to boost and enhance our internal party democracy.
All right, let's just take on a few other developments, then we'll come for the closing words, short closing words from our guests. Now, the National Executive Committee of the Accord Party has elected a legal practitioner, Maxwell Ungubem, as National Caretaker Chairman. The composition of the Caretaker Committee followed the explanation of Mohamed Lawa Nalado, led the Caretaker Committee. Let's take that report and we'll come back.
The National Executive Committee meeting of the Accord Party held with a known agenda, election of another caretaker committee for the next 6 months, as the party is not yet ready for a national convention. Mohamed Lawal Nalado therefore stepped aside for the potent chairman who conducted the election of a new caretaker committee, but not without reading out his committee-led achievements. The new caretaker committee comprised of 7 members who promised to take party to higher level.
The political party is the foundation of democracy in a nation, and was ratified automatically in nation authority.
The new caretaker committee has the forthcoming Edo State governorship election as its first major assignment, promising to deliver the party in the election.
National Treasurer of the Labour Party has urged the leadership of the party to lead by example and turn in its financial audited report to the supervising body, that is INEC. Our efforts towards doing that, she alleged, is being frustrated.
Was founded on the principles of justice, equity, and integrity, and it is incumbent upon all of us to behold these values in the face of corruption and abuse of power. I equally urge all members of the Labour Party, including His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, and the Nigerian public to stand with me in demanding accountability and transparency from our chairman, Mr. Julius Abure. We cannot allow the action of a few individuals to tarnish the hard-earned reputation of our party or undermine the trust of the people we serve.
The people on the street will say, well, I know they finished, but let's quickly go back to where we were. Ezewanwango, still with me, and Jideju. Your last words on this, are you expecting troubled waters ahead in terms of Edo State? You understand that the PDP, some of their friends are saying if they don't hear a good word from the party, they will head into the courts. Jideju, very quickly.
It's not going to be a surprise. Definitely, the courts are there to do substantial justice, and the timeline are there very clearly stated that within 14 days of the primaries, that they can file their actions at the court. Just that they have appealed, they have gone to taking their case to the appeal committee of the party, and I hope the appeal committee will do substantial justice to prevent situations that will hold down the party when it should be campaigning for whoever emerges as his candidate.
Thank you very much, Jideju, and thank you for being a part of it. Quickly, Ezewanwango, final words on this, and what are we seeing ahead as far as these processes are concerned?
I think that the imperial powers of the governors need to be checked. I think that we should ensure that we don't allow the rule of strong men. Part of the challenges that we have in Plateau today has to do with the behavior of the political party in that state and how it manages with internal issues. And for Labour Party, I think it's important that people who carry reputational baggages should be able to, in civilized, and we are civilized, should be able to step aside. Abuja is in court for so many things, and every time the issue revolves around these financial, issues, and I think that we should be interested in calling out what's going on in Labour Party and ensuring that, and more in closing, it's important that the 2023 audit of the political parties' expenses and income should be made public as well. Let us know where they got the money to run the elections and how they spend those monies. It's part of what we should be making demand of. So the demand should not just be one-sided in terms of what government is doing, but what these public institutions, political parties are also public organizations. So we should be able to know what they do with their money and how they got those monies.
Thank you very much, Ezewanwango, for your interventions today. We thank you for coming, even as a short notice, Chairman Partners for Electoral Reforms. We'll be looking at this space, especially as the two elections are coming closer in Edo and Ondo State as well. And of course, Jideju, our public affairs analyst, for your interventions as well. We will be seeing how things pan out. Hopefully, the litigations will not, cloud what we expect and get a seamless process later in the year. That was the political update for today. Many thanks for watching on the network service of Nigerian Television Authority. I will give you the very best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. We'll be back on Friday with a fresh package. Between now and then, please play your politics for the greater good. Bye-bye now.
Hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live from your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk.